Very brief story about how important this is. Many of you know I'm an attorney, and I've had the pleasure of practicing law in this county for too many years I want to remember. But I had a young man with 3 kids that came to me one time who lost his job because his employee said that he failed a drug test. And he was so adamant that he'd never done drugs in his life. He was a veteran, young man, and went and paid for his own drug test. Took it to his employer, and they still fired him. Well, at the same time, he was a Hispanic individual. They had a lot of Caucasian employees that had failed tests. They never fired him. A judge in Brownsville threw that case out. Went up to the 13th Court of Appeals. She was one on the panel, and finally made the right decision that no, a jury needs to hear this case. A jury of his peers. Throughout that period of time, because of that false test, he couldn't work for over 18 months. He came to my office so many times asking for something, whether it was school clothes or supplies for his kids. And every time you could see a little bit of his soul was lost. A proud Marine who did nothing other than try to work for his family. That case has now been taken up by the Supreme Court. We have arguments December 8th, by the way. And I'm fully expecting the worst. But it's decisions like that and people that I know that are willing to take on the monster to get there. And it's up to us to make sure that they work every time, because these things affect real people. They affect your neighbors and your families and friends. Trust me, we see it all the time. I'm sure there are other stories the sheriff or other that can share with us today. So we're going to continue on now. Please, we have another fantastic candidate for the 13th Court of Appeals against the only Republican on that. So please, Judge Leticia Hinojosa, please go ahead.